Total War Warhammer 3 is a huge game with deeply expansive lore. When you boot up a new campaign, there are a ton of different factions to choose from, and if you're brand new to the world of Warhammer Fantasy, you might not know who or what these factions are. I'm JR with Bowls, and this is the lore and basic gameplay mechanics of the factions you'll find in Total War Warhammer 3. First things first, we should note that there are two ways to play the game. There's the Realms of Chaos, which is the default way that Warhammer 3 was when it launched. And then there's Immortal Empires, which is available to anyone who picks up the game, which you can do. It's on sale right now on Steam. It's on sale until March 23rd. Click the link in the description below and you can get a good deal on a great game. We're only going to be talking about the factions that are available in the Realms of Chaos campaign. There's 9 all in all. You can also play them in Immortal Empires, but if you want us to go through all 23 of the different factions, please let us know in the comments below. We'd love to do it if that's what you guys want to see. There are tons of mechanics and systems that you need to know if you want to play. If you're interested in learning about those, check out our beginner's guide video on the card in the corner. We kick things off with the Daemons of Chaos. In the world of Warhammer, Chaos is sort of the big, overwhelming evil that's behind pretty much all the bad stuff that's going on in the world. They are a faction of 4 different chaos gods that are full of demons, have mortal cultists who give them power, come mutated by its warping effects. They're also sort of the source of magic, and so everything's kind of all amorphously and mixed together. Chaos worshippers who gain enough ruinous power without dying or becoming a horrible mutant along the way might find themselves becoming a demon prince, which is who you play when you play as the Demons of Chaos. The Demons of Chaos are granted the gifts of Chaos Undivided, which allows them to access lesser demons from each of the 4 different Chaos gods. Similarly, Demon Princes can gain the unique abilities of each of these gods, which normally would be reserved only for the worshippers of those gods and people playing those specific factions. Now we journey to the realm of Grand Cathay, a kingdom of jade cities and golden pagodas. They dominate the battlefield with ancient dragons, powerful magic, and guns. There's a lot of gunpowder cannons and other guns and spears and flying ships, all of which mixes together to make for an empire that is on the verge of the old and the new. The people of Grand Cathay are fiercely loyal to their kingdom. Thus, they will do anything they can to defend their land from the ruinous powers which seek to destroy the Great Bastion, the massive wall that is the only thing holding the wastes of chaos at bay from the rest of the world. The armies of Grand Cathay play with a unique mechanic of harmony. The combat units of Grand Cathay are aligned to either yin or yang. Yin units gain a bonus to their reload speed and leadership while in the proximity of yang units, and yang units gain a bonus to melee defense and leadership while near yin units. You'll have to keep your army balanced between ranged and melee. You can draw upon this balance to produce magical effects. Learning how to manage this is a key to playing Grand Cathay. Let's get to those chaos gods. First up, we've got Khorne. He is the god of blood and destruction who sits atop a mountain of skulls from countless battles and is the blood god sitting atop the skull throne. Khorne berserkers will often charge into battles screaming his name, looking for blood for the blood god and skulls for the skull throne. In the world of Khorne, might makes right. Blood makes more blood, and only through both can you gain Khorne's favor. Khorne's units, as you might imagine, are emboldened and strengthened by battle. The more they fight, the better they do. They often build up a lot of momentum that can snowball, so as you win fights, you can proceed even further on the campaign map. When your units fight battles and raise cities and claim skull piles to pay tribute to the Skull Throne, the ruined and destroyed settlements that they leave in their wake can be claimed by your army by spending your skulls, all of which adds up to a tide of blood, vengeance, and death that sweeps across the world. Meanwhile, in the icy reaches of the northern parts of the old world, you'll find the Tsardom of Kislev. Kislev is a realm torn by factional disputes right now. Citizens must align themselves with either the Icy Queen or the Great Orthodoxy, or perhaps a third path if you beat the regular campaign. For generations, though, Kislevites have stood strong against the forces of chaos, who wage war from the northern reaches where the Norscan barbarians and marauders live. It is through through their staunch determination that mankind throughout the rest of the world has not been overrun by chaos marauders. Kislevites have a variety of both magical powers and religious control. You can use shamans to assign bonuses to your unique settlements. You can have ice court witches training frost maidens and ice witches to develop more magic powers. You can also devote yourselves to the gods of Kislev and gain blessings and control by doing so. Now, let's talk about Nurgle, a plague upon the world, because Nurgle is the chaos god known as the Plague Lord. He is a jolly, fecund fellow who only wants to give everyone his gifts. It's just that his gifts are disease, decay, festering, lingering rot that corrupts all that it touches. But through death also springs life, and the followers of Nurgle have a sick sense of humor about the plagues infesting their body. They are eager and happy to spend Grandpapa Nurgle's blessing, whether it be festering boils, an extra arm sprouting out of your head, or an extra smile right on your belly to show just how happy you truly are. Nurgle is as much about rot as he is about growth, which is reflected in the way the faction plays. Nurgle recruitment costs are typically lower than others so that you can build up a massive army very quickly, and their enhanced settlement growth means that you'll always have enough resources to maintain that army. But as with all things, what now grows will one day die, and this is also and especially true for Nurgle settlements, which do eventually wither away and die. Along the way, you'll be spreading your plagues across the world, weakening those in your way, so that by the time your armies come into contact with them, they are ready to succumb to Nurgle. The ogres of the Ogre Kingdoms are a tough, vicious, and overall hungry people. These semi-nomadic brutes never stay in one place for too long, instead relying on their Noblar servants to push them around on large carts and haul their meats. Ogres are bullies. They bully everyone smaller than they are, which is basically everyone. They take whatever they can, and they eat everything. Whatever they can't eat, they use to help acquire more things to eat, all in the name of appeasing their ever-hungry god, the Great Maw. As a nomadic people, the Ogre Kingdoms can set up camps, construct buildings, and recruit new units to get them to the front lines with expediency. The hungry ogres are sustained by meat, which is rewarded through battle. The bloodier the battle, the bigger the feast, as they say. Yep. You're harvesting corpses and eating them. Just no way around that. All those arms gotta go somewhere. You can, of course, recruit some from your own campsites. Try not to think about it too much. Ogres are some of the most infamous mercenaries in the old world. The Ogre Kingdoms live up to that name. They can fulfill contracts to earn favor with other factions and improve their diplomatic relations, which is a great way to make up for the fact that you just ate half their army in that last fight. Slaanesh is our third chaos god, and is a god of pain, excess, and indulgent amoral pleasures. There is no such thing as too much when dealing with a servant of Slaanesh, and every step too far is one step not gone far enough in the eyes of a Slaaneshi. Those who serve Slaanesh are consumed by their own dark passions and their commitment to their parasocial relationship with their dark prince. Which reminds me, this is a great time for you to click on that like button and subscribe so that you can get more content from us. And if you comment below, we might even respond. Slaaneshi units can compel their enemies through seduction to abandon their morals and values to join the side that puts the fun in restraint. The joke there is that there's no fun in restraint, unless, of course, by restraint you mean like bomb. With enough seductive influence, the armies of Slaanesh can even force whole factions into becoming their willing vassals. Tzeentch is the fourth and final chaos god, and Tzeentch is the most mysterious one of them all. Known as the Changer of Ways, the Weaver of Fate, Tzeentch is a god of manipulation, trickery, and spelling challenges. The plans of Tzeentch run deep, with layers upon layers of quintuple double-blind bluffs on a stack of misdirection. All things are mere pawns in the avian talons of Tzeentch, and to invite Tzeentch into your heart is to embrace madness in your mind, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the Weaver. The armies of Tzeentch can manipulate the winds of magic to enhance their own magic as they need it in the moment. No other faction comes even close to the powerful spells that a Tzeentchian sorcerer can wield. They can even hamper their enemies' abilities to cast their own spells or call upon their own internal magic. But the armies of Tzeentch are also familiar with the devious plots and subtle manipulations that define the Chaos God's chief weapons. The armies of Tzeentch will uncover ever more dangerous secrets in the form of grimoires that they unlock through battles and from other sources, and these grimoires can be used to hatch fiendish schemes that might create even deadlier effects later in the game. Finally, we have the Warriors of Chaos. These are mortals who have fully given themselves to the ruinous powers of chaos and have sworn themselves to one of the Chaos Gods. In return, they have been given powers beyond their wildest dreams, as long as their wildest dreams include being slightly better at melee and or magic. These chosen servants of chaos delight in spreading the good word of their chosen god through murder and also mayhem. Warriors of Chaos want nothing more than to sow destruction across the old world, and they have more than enough manpower to make it happen. The war bands of each of the Warriors of Chaos are themselves dedicated to a different chaos god. They can establish dark fortresses as a base of power and can vassalize or recruit new followers of chaos. Through the dark gifts that have been granted to them by their gods, they can gain new abilities and recruit powerful warriors, even half machine, half demon artillery. With these corrupting tools, they can spread the influence of chaos and take power not for the demons, but for themselves. Any chaos god would absolutely approve. Whew! That was a lot, and that's not even all of the factions that are in the game. That's just from the Realms of Chaos, and if you want to know about the Immortal Empires factions, let us know. We'll be happy to dive into them. There's a ton of fun stuff to get into and dig into the game. Ice bears, demons, demon princes that you can customize like your very own Mutant G.I. Joe collection, and of course more guns on more balloons with more soldiers that you can shake a stick at, and that's a lot because you can shake a stick at a lot of people. But that is the world of Total War Warhammer 3. It is a ton of fun to dive into. You can plan your own grand strategy. Every faction plays differently. Even if you're playing the same faction, can play out 1,000 different ways. I love it. I hope if you're watching this, you're excited and want to give it a try. If you do, again, it's on sale right now until March 23rd. Click the link in the description below to go and find it. If all that sounds interesting, that's because it is interesting. There is a lot to learn, however, but we are here to help you. Please check out our intro on everything you need to get started with Total War Warhammer 3. I'm JR from Bowls. Thanks for watching. I've got a world to conquer.